Disclaimer. This episode contains graphic descriptions of violence that may be disturbing to some listeners. Please be advised.
Hey.
Hello.
Hi.
My name's Taylor.
My name's Mandy.
I'm Amanda.
Welcome to Pop, Crime, and Wine.
Welcome.
I'm glad that you didn't steal my intro this time.
I sound just like my mom. That's why
I only
laughed.
do that every other podcast.
Hello.
Well, if you're listening in for the first time, this is a pop culture / true crime podcast. We like to have fun and make fun of shit, so...
Including ourselves.
Yeah. I was just thinking about Mrs. Doubtfire, and she's like, hello.
Hello.
Oh, hello.
That's a great movie.
It is a great movie.
Classic.
It's also sad, though, because I don't like thinking about Robin Williams.
And how great he was.
Yeah,
He will
how he's
forever
gone
live
now.
in infamy.
Yeah.
Is infamy the correct term?
Infamy.
Okay. I didn't know if that was
It
like
is.
a bad way to be remembered.
No,
or
I
if it
think
was a
it's good.
thing.
It's definitely good.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, where I was going with that was, we talk about some crazy shit, and so if you're easily offended, this might not be your favorite podcast, but it might secretly be.
You just don't have to tell anybody if
Shh.
Are we
No, not
offensive?
you. I was saying you don't have to tell anybody.
I was like,
shushing
sorry.
you.
Mandy, shh.
If you get offended by the things that we say, then you should probably just reevaluate things, because I don't think that we're very offensive.
Well, we do, we throw out words,
Oh, I cuss.
and we talk about
I coos,
very
I coos.
opinionated topics.
That's true.
But I think for the most part, the people who listen enjoy that. Hopefully.
TT's gonna pop our wine. Let's
yeah.
talk about
Our
it.
sponsor is Miss Carla Davis, one of our best friends
Carla.
in the world.
Well, it's not Davis anymore.
Oh,
Carla Johnson.
But her music, you can find her music at carladavis.com. She has an Instagram. I believe it's Carla Davis Music.
Yeah.
She has a Twitter. She's pretty
She's
famous. She was like
fantastic.
on The Voice, and she was on American Idol. And
She's famous, and she's our
She's
friend.
so famous.
she's like the best writer ever.
We just went to her wedding.
And she got us this wine called V Reserve. It's Samuel Robert Winery. It's a Pinot Noir.
Oh, yeah. I've been really digging some Pinot Noirs lately.
Do you want to know where this wine is from?
California.
Is it another country?
No.
Then Chicago.
Is it
It's-
North Carolina?
It's from Willamette Valley, Oregon.
Oh. Oh.
And it looks like a really fancy bottle of wine.
Because we fancy.
Let's see if I can open it.
I'm really glad that there isn't a video of us, because
Struggle's real. Our facial expressions.
I mean, I kind of wish there was a video so you guys could see how much Taylor struggles every week to open the wine. But
I just want to say how smooth my wine opening was last week.
this is why I don't open the wine here, because I don't want you guys to know if I'm good or not.
She has a fancy electric one back home, so she's not really practiced in the manual labor that it is to get the cork out.
All I gotta do is press the button.
Taylor and her ice cubes.
I just like a nice, cool, smooth red wine, you know?
Oh, man. Oh, that's good.
Is it good?
It smells really good.
I should drink Pinot Noirs more.
I love Pinot Noir.
I'm just
love-
always such a cab girl.
Well, I think my palate,
I think my palate.
my palate isn't quite refined enough to know the real difference. Like, if I were to sit down and try a cab and then a Pinot Noir and no one told me which one was which, I'm not sure I would be able to
I might be able to.
know the difference. We should do this.
Ooh,
That
we
should
should.
be on. We should do like a video extra where we do like blind taste tests of wines.
Also, along with that, can we
that'd be
do
fun.
this other experiment that I've been wanting to do for
The Pepsi versus Coke.
No, I know
Oh,
that one
I
for
wanna do
sure.
that
though.
one, too.
I would 100%.
I haven't had either of those in at least 8 years, and I still know the difference.
Yeah, we should do that one and prove to everyone that we know the difference. Also, I want to do the Skittles challenge, where you eat a Skittle and you say what flavor it is, or like what color it is, because there is this, I guess it's a conspiracy that
Like they mixed up the colors and the flavors?
No, that they're all the exact same flavor.
No,
and
that's not true.
You only think that it's a different flavor because of looking at it.
But it's not actually true because the purple is the best flavor.
That
and I
Ew.
can, no, but I can tell even when I'm like
No.
blindly taking it from a bag. We should do this.
Yes.
I like this idea.
So we should do a wine thing, and we should also do the Skittles.
Yeah.
I heard them doing it on the radio one time, and they never got any of them right.
We should also do the cinnamon challenge.
No.
shut that shit down real
No.
quick.
Veto that. Big veto
It's fun,
stamp.
No.
Absolutely not. I videotaped some family friends up north doing it, and it was terrible.
Well, it's
a little scary.
physically impossible.
Yeah.
Well, unless you have enough saliva to
No.
kind of.
No, it's
There's never enough.
it's like that's the thing is the chemical.
It just goes like
it doesn't
all gone.
because like it's been
Dries
proven
everything
like
out.
cinnamon sucks up all the saliva, so
it's
that's
just like
why you
instant. And
Yeah,
then
it dries you out.
you can't swallow anything because it's just still like dry powder in your mouth.
That's why like if you could do
people,
like a
like,
little
vomit.
bit of cinnamon.
Ooh, but we could do like the cinnamon / like put a teaspoon of cinnamon in and then take a shot of like caramel vodka.
Well, then
Could
you
trying to
taste
kill
really
us?
delicious.
I know.
Sounds good.
I mean, I would sprinkle cinnamon on top of a
Be
shot.
be adventurous.
That is being adventurous. I normally just drink whiskey.
I don't do caramel anything. So
Okay, fine.
I'm
You know,
out of this
Wait, really?
challenge.
At all, ever?
Not really. Oh, okay. I take that back. I will eat a Werther's original
was-
every once in a while just because it reminds me of like my
Grandma.
childhood, even though like
Yep.
I don't, because it's a different type of caramel flavor than like any
like
other
creamy.
I
caramel.
love
Yeah.
caramel. And since I've been watching the Great British Baking Show, now I know how it's made, and it's crazy.
It's just sugar.
Just sugar in a pot.
Yeah.
What?
yeah.
Who would have
You
thought?
can make it.
Mandy and
put
I
it
have
on-
already gone through the
I
Great
am-
British Baking Show.
I'm going to
Taylor's
make it.
finally going through
Yeah, I'm
it.
finally going through
Late
it. And I have
party.
a very less than popular viewpoint on the show because I started from season 5 and I'm working my way back to season 1. So I didn't start with the very beginning.
Why did you do
Therefore,
that?
well, because that was just the way that Netflix wanted me to watch it. I clicked play and it played the season 5 episode 1. And so I started out with the new people.
So you like them?
She doesn't like Mary
Listen,
Berry.
No, I don't. I don't not like Mary Berry.
I know.
No.
Scrummy.
I don't not like Mary Berry, but
Those soggy
my first
bottoms.
but my first like
Introduction,
experience
yeah.
with it was with a completely different person, and I enjoy both Sue and what's her name, the two
Yeah,
girls
the
who are in 1 through
comedians.
4, the comedians. I think
Yeah.
that they're really great, and I enjoy them too. But I really also love the new people they put in because the guys from whatchamacallit,
Nope.
Old Greg.
He's old Greg?
Yes.
Oh, I haven't
love
watched
him
it.
so much, and he's such a nice
I haven't
guy.
watched season 5.
So
I don't want to.
we should watch it again because I'd watch it again. But yeah, that's my
I
viewpoint.
do like old Greg.
I don't mind Mary Berry. It's just she wasn't my first, introduction to it, my first experience, and
OG.
so it just felt weird moving into a different.
I love Paul Hollywood.
I do
I
love
have a
Paul
weird
Hollywood.
sexual attraction to Paul Hollywood.
He's got great eyes, and he's so mysterious. Like he'll take a bite of a piece of cake, and he'll look at you, and he'll just like do that little smirk, and you're
Yeah.
like, does he like it,
Or does
I
he
don't
hate it?
know.
Like he can
either
ruin
like
my life in just a second.
I like in season 2 when the one girl just calls him the male judge.
Yes.
I love it so much. She's like, I'll have a male judge because she like won't call him Paul because
Paul.
she like knows that he's like you never know if you're gonna make him happy or not.
Oh,
so she's just
the male
like
judge.
the male judge, and I'm like, yes.
I forgot who that was.
She's a cute little old lady. Yeah, I think it's all my like my daddy issues that I'm like, man, he's so like weirdly sexy to
Or
me.
he's just an
well,
attractive
he's
person.
got the silver fox. thing
yeah, and
going.
like just the way that he carries himself, and I like kind of cocky assholes. So I'm like, oh hey.
Oh, God.
Which sidebar, my husband is not a cocky asshole. Let me just put that out
Let's
there.
just make that clear.
I decided to marry someone totally opposite so that I wouldn't have struggle in my life. Are we doing the crime thing again?
yeah.
yeah. Let's.
Is that what we're doing?
Yeah, we've been getting some good feedback on it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
people. I think.
I think they
It's-
like leaving on a happier note.
Yep, definitely. I
Yeah.
agree.
The
All
only
right.
thing that bothers me is because we are called Pop Crime and wine instead of wine, pop, and crime. Or crime, wine, and pop.
We drink the wine first, so wine should be first. Wine, crime, and pop. But it doesn't have the ring.
Chronologically correct.
Doesn't have the same ring. But we just pretend that it's opposite day, and then everything's perfectly fine.
Every Tuesday.
Oh, yeah. Pop, crime, and wine. And then we do wine, crime, and pop.
Yep.
So, okay.
Yep.
I feel better about it now.
Good. I'm glad that I can
makes
help you
sense.
out with that.
Makes sense in some way.
Sure.
So what crime do we have this week?
This week, we're going back to high school.
Oh, no.
I hated high school.
Did you hate
Actually,
high
no.
school?
I didn't hate high school. I was great in high school.
Did you ever have any like really serious relationships in high school?
Yes.
Yeah, the only other relationship other than my husband started in high school.
And did you ever feel so like impassioned that, is that a word? Impassioned? I like it. I'm going to use it. That you felt like murdering someone after you broke up?
Nope.
I mean, I definitely like would fight people during the relationship. I tried to fight girls because they were all my friends were sleeping with my boyfriend. So I was angry, but I definitely like.
Well, he sounds like a trash bag.
He's a person. He's not.
Okay.
He's a good person, not a good boyfriend.
Yeah.
So I mean, well, he's not really a good person either, but I think that he could be.
Oh, God. That went downhill fast. I hope he listens.
I hope he does too. Shout out. But yeah, so yeah, I was very impassioned.
Yeah. But not to the point where you like.
I guess I've never wanted to murder anyone.
Yeah.
So
It does. I think it takes a certain kind of person to get to that point.
Yeah. Or someone that just snaps. I have never
I'm
snapped.
sorry. There is a line that you can't accidentally murder somebody. Well,
Yeah.
you can, but I mean, like, you can't think
but
about it and be like,
I think
I'm going to
that-
take this person's life because I'm mad.
I think that someone that like a normal person can be like pushed to the point of murdering someone. Like I don't think that everyone that murders people are psychopaths. Like I think that some people just like hit a breaking point and then they like it's almost like an outer body experience or something.
Yeah.
Or
I've watched
also,
a lot of Snapped.
they have people who kind of push them to the edge, like with them.
Yeah.
I think if you have someone else who feels equally, ready to murder this person with you, then it's more of a partnership. And that whole like, the TV show, it's like Snapped, except it's killer couples, right?
Oh yeah.
So good.
So good.
But it's crazy what people will do when they like find a like-minded individual. That being said, this crime is the murder of Seath Jackson. It is based out of Florida.
Of course.
Man.
Do you know how many times I've found something that I was going to talk about on the podcast, but like every single time it's out in Florida, so I try not to do them because I'm the one from Florida. And
I didn't realize that this was Florida until halfway through like doing some research, and I'm like, you know what? I'm still gonna do it.
Do it anyway.
So this story is a tale of young love, social media, shit talking, new love, luring that old love to a house in the middle of nowhere, torture and murder, all before the age of 16.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Well, all right.
Yeah, we're hooked.
We're hooked. Yeah. You got us.
So this is
Hook,
set
line,
in
sinker.
rural Bellevue, Florida. Apparently, it is a very religious town, and there's not a whole lot of things to do. So people, try and find fun shit to do, and it ends up,
Extracurriculars.
getting them in trouble.
I've never heard of it.
This is back in 2011.
Oh, I was wondering. I figured it probably wasn't that far in the past because you said social media.
Yeah. And I can imagine it would be worse if it was set, if those kids were in now times. So, the young love is a girl named Amber Wright and this boy, Seath Jackson. They're in a passion-filled relationship. They're both 14 years old, okay? And they date for a couple months to the point where they're like inseparable. Seath does BMX, he does skateboarding, he's got a family that's still together, like his mom and his parents are together and they raised him right, but he was getting into drugs about the same time that she was, and it kind of like brought them together, but then it also pushed them apart.
Like hard drugs?
like weed and cocaine.
Okay.
Not too crazy,
Right,
but
yeah.
still, as 14-year-olds,
That's
you know,
so bad,
it's
yeah.
too much.
Cocaine.
Yeah. But so it was hot and quick. It was hot and heavy, and then it just, you know, fizzled. And it kind of went to Facebook. So he posted on Facebook professing his love for her. And then a couple weeks later, they broke up.
Well, weeks in like 14-year-old.
That's a relationship.
That's
Yeah.
a really long time.
Well, they were together for a few months, I believe. And a few months is a long time. Yeah, when you're 14 years old. And they were sexually active. Yeah, at 14.
So young.
It's really young. I think some kids grow up faster than others. And I definitely was not on that train at 14.
Nope.
I had my first kiss at 14.
I was sneaking out of the house and taking turns making out with a senior with my best friend at 14, but I wasn't sexually active. We were just like,
Decent.
hey, let's sneak out and I'll make out with him and then you can make out with him and then we'll go back in.
Oh my gosh.
Wow. Scandalous.
So
Seriously.
scandalous.
Love it.
Yeah, so they were sexually active. And then they broke up a couple weeks later. And she started dating this guy that her ex did not like. And so immediately she posted, in quotes, on her Facebook page, "I got so tired of you treating me like I was nothing. If you're so perfect, why don't you get over your jealousy and get a new girl you can hurt? You know I cared deeply about you. I stuck with you through a lot of stuff, ... It takes a real man to accept the fact that he got broken up with." And Seth responded to that on his Facebook page and said, "We both need to just let all of this go. Yeah, we split. Yeah, it hurts, but I'm over it. I'm just not going to let Mike have his cake and eat it too." So Mike is the new boyfriend.
Okay.
And he is
Is
trouble.
this all on public Facebook? Like
Yes.
it's just all in comments and stuff?
Yes. Like
Oh,
as
children.
as their statuses.
Oh, man.
So crazy.
That's so weird.
Okay, so the new boyfriend, his name is Michael Bargo.
Bargo.
Yeah, Mike Bargo. On April 17th, 2011, Amber is hanging out with her new boyfriend, Mike, her brother, Kyle, her stepbrother, Kyle, his friend, Justin, at her friend's trailer park. Okay, so they're in her friend Charlie's trailer. Charlie is a girl. And
I love the name Charlie for a girl.
Same.
Sorry.
yeah, me too. It's a good name.
Cute.
Mike starts acting weird and he's like, "I just want to murder him. Like, he's the worst." And he was like saying weird things about how like you can burn bones in bonfires and it'll disintegrate and all this stuff. And this is all coming out in interviews after what happens next, but no one really knows what actually happened. But Amber apparently sent Seth a series of texts asking him to meet her and that she wanted to talk to him and get back with him. And at first he was hanging out with his friends and he told them about it. And they were like, "This is strange. She's been like really rude to you for the past couple weeks. I don't think that this is real." And he responds back to her and asks her, "Is this real? Because I'm not about to get jumped. Like, if I get jumped, we're never getting back together." And she's like, "No, I would never do that to you. I love you, blah, blah, blah." So he's like, "Okay, I'll meet you. Where am I going?" And so she invites him to this trailer that she's at with her friends. So he goes there and he walks in. And as soon as he walks in the door, he gets hit on the back of the head with a bunch of wooden objects like bats and big pieces of lumber. And then Mike comes in and he shoots him. He's got a gun and he shoots him. And as soon as that happens, Seth starts running outside and he has a chance to get away. So he's running towards the road. He's shot. He's been like beat up with like a baseball bat.
So this is a bunch of people?
So yeah, so there's 5 teens against him. So there's 6 teens altogether. Mike is actually 18 years old. So he is a legal adult.
Yeah.
And he chases after him and he shoots him again out in the front yard and then drags him back into the trailer where he proceeds to put him in the bathtub. And in some accounts that I read, there were a couple articles I read where they tortured him and like pulled out his teeth.
What?
And then
He was still alive?
still alive, and they shot him again. And then they broke his kneecaps because they
my
wanted to fit him into a sleeping bag.
Oh, God.
Like tuck him into a sleeping bag. And as soon as they did that, they shot him again. And then took him outside where they hog-tied him, put him in the sleeping bag, and burned him in their bonfire. These are like 15, 16, 18-year-old children.
Oh my
like
God.
Who
That's so
like
disturbing.
hardly know this guy.
Yeah, but it's also like, I feel like at that age, you're so easily swayed.
Well, I guess it's like you're just running of hormones, and I don't know. I feel like your body's changing so much and your mind is changing so much. Yeah, maybe they don't take it as seriously.
Yeah, like I don't think that like, and if you have someone that's like older than you and cooler than you, like, oh yeah, this is a good idea.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like they're children. Like
They're easily swayed
yeah.
by, someone who seems to be more in control. And
but I also
Did he
can't.
go to jail?
so I'll tell you.
Oh,
but
sorry.
I think that, like, I don't know. Like, I know my best friend in high school started hanging out with these girls that I was like, I don't like them. They're not nice girls. And she was like, I mean, they're cool. And she, like, hung out with them for a while. And then she realized that they were not nice girls. And then she was like, why did I spend all this time hanging out with them?
Yeah.
And I was like, told you, you dummy. What were you doing? But, like, she didn't see it at the
Sometimes you
time.
don't
So,
see
like,
it. Yeah.
And that was high school. And so, like, I wonder how many of the kids that were there while, like, this boy is getting murdered were like, oh shit, like, didn't realize that this was a real thing.
So after they had the bonfire, and it was more like a party, like they were out there drinking and like
the
partying
hell?
at the bonfire while this guy's burning.
Were they on drugs? Like, more
I don't
other than
think so.
just like
I mean,
cocaine?
I
or
don't know.
whatever?
I don't.
Because I feel like if you're on like acid
Ecstasy
or
So they definitely
yeah.
that wasn't something that came out. At least they could have been, but that wasn't said.
Makes me feel a little bit better about it.
But after he burned, they put his bones and his ashes in 5 separate paint cans, and they took it to the quarry and threw it out in a nearby quarry. And then went back and they cleaned up the entire trailer with like a bunch of bleach. And immediately the next day, Seth's mom knew something was wrong. She, in an interview that she had, she was like, I knew that my son was dead. She was like, I just knew that he was gone. It was just a matter of fact of like finding out what happened to him. And one day, Amber's stepbrother, what was his name? Kyle Hooper. Yeah, Kyle. I like that you listen to that. That's nice. Yeah, Kyle saw on the news, he was sitting in a living room with his mother, and they saw on the news that this kid was missing, and he looked at his mom and he's like, I was there when he got shot. And she's like, what? And so she obviously goes to the police and she brings him in with her, and they question him and they put him in an interrogation room, and he just spilled it all. He told them everything he knew. And they brought in Amber and they brought in Charlie and Justin. And at first, Amber was very like, oh, I don't know what happened. Like, I know that he came over, and then I went into the room with Charlie and we heard gunshots, but we didn't go out there. We just stayed in our room and slept in until noon. And then he was gone. And so I didn't know where he went. And she's trying to act dumb and say that she had absolutely nothing to do with it.
She's the one who got him there.
She was the one who got him there. There were texts that showed that were like, oh, come over. I want to get back with you. And he was like, oh, I'm walking up the hill now. I'll be there. Like, it's so sad. Like, looking at these texts that the last ones that he ever sent before he went in there. And the fact that he almost got away is really sad too, to think about.
He didn't die right away either.
Yeah.
He was tortured.
Yeah. And so
God.
the police department has these cameras in the rooms. And at one point after they interviewed everybody, they put them all in the same room together, except they couldn't find Mike. Mike was on the run. He was like,
He's the 18-year-old.
yeah, he's the 18-year-old, the one that actually did the shooting, the physical shooting. But they put them all in the same room, and so they start talking, and she's like, Kyle, why did you tell them everything? And he's like, oh, they said they knew everything, and da-da-da, and they were going to find out, like, they're not dumb. And they walk in and say, oh, we're charging each of you with first-degree murder. And then they leave. And Charlie, the other girl, she starts crying and she's like, oh, I didn't do anything. I didn't do this. This isn't, whatever. And finally, Amber starts showing a little bit of emotion. She's like, I'm going to be in jail until I'm like 20.
What? Oh my God.
She has no idea what she was what she did. She doesn't even get it. The fact that, she was an accomplice in a murder.
What's also sad, though, is that, like, this was someone that she actually cared about at some point. Like, they were dating. Yeah. She, like, loved him and then, like, was inseparable at one point and then was like, oh, I killed him, so now I'm going to go to jail for 5 years.
Yeah.
What?
She's fucking nuts. She's dumb.
How does your mind work that way?
I have no idea. I don't even get it. And the fact that she could think it's such a small thing that she would only get like 5 years in jail is beyond me.
Well, I mean, I will say that when I was a kid, not that I ever got in trouble or did anything to get in trouble, but I was always like, well, if I get in trouble, I would just go to juvie.
Yeah.
I think that's also because I had a cousin that went to juvie. So, like, she was only there for however long and then she got out. And, like, so in my mind, I was like, oh, like, it doesn't ruin your life as much as, like, if you're an adult because you're a kid. But now that I'm an adult and I read things and I've seen children that have murdered their families and they, like,
go for life or whatever.
Yeah, like, they get tried as adults or whatever, even at, like, 12.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many things that happen and you're like...
Dude, I TP'd my high school once and ran from the cops because he caught us and I was running. And this girl, who I won't name, kept grabbing my shirt and grabbing my arm because she was like, she couldn't keep up. And so then we got caught.
Oh.
I got really scared. So I was like, what are they going to do? They're going to put us in jail.
Oh, no.
They're going to arrest us. And he just made us take it all down.
See, I think...
Which actually was sad because we did a really
when
good job.
I was younger, I thought more like, oh, I'm gonna go to jail for life. Like, if I do this, or
right,
like,
I thought it was bigger
I think it would be worse than it is, and this girl is thinking it'd be way less than it is. But
That's interesting.
Then again, I don't have the mind of a murderer.
That's
I don't
true.
either, and I see it how she saw it.
Or do you?
Okay, Amanda.
Dun dun dun. So, Kyle Hooper, the stepbrother, and his friend Justin both got life with no parole. Charlie Ely, who lived at the crime scene, was also given life, but she insisted that Michael would have killed her if she didn't go along with it. So she was saying that she didn't want to, but she was threatened, and she felt threatened. And Seth's mother dismissed the crocodile tears, and this is her statement to Charlie. She said, "Some say your life is over, but you will still see and talk to your family. You will still get letters and birthday cards. You will still laugh and cry. I have no sympathy for the tears you shed. They have not been for Seth, but rather for what's happened to you."
Damn.
Which, I mean, it's the truth.
Yeah,
this
it's
girl's
the actual-
crying.
yeah.
She was a part of a murder.
Yeah.
And she's,
Worried about herself.
Yeah. It's ridiculous. So Michael
Michael
Bublé.
Michael Boris.
Michael Bargo is now 25, and he was finally found. He's the youngest person in Florida's death row.
What?
Well, he was sentenced to death at age 18, and yeah,
All
now
those
he's
kids
25.
got life sentences, and they were under 18?
So he was 18.
No, I know.
And then the other ones, I think, were 17, 16, 15. Yeah.
And they all got life sentences?
They all got life with no parole.
Without parole. That's crazy.
Well, I mean, they apparently did horrible things.
I
to
know.
them.
Well,
it's
you know,
just
when they
like-
break someone's kneecaps so they can, like, maneuver them into a certain, position.
Yeah, that's really fun. And then they had a party.
put their ashes in paint cans
Yeah.
and throw them so that no one can ever find them.
Like, it wasn't just like, oh, there was this accident.
Right,
Like,
and we tried to cover it up or something.
yeah,
Like, they
they
set
like
out
totally
to murder him.
mutilated
Yeah.
him.
Oh, God. I just can't,
So,
in high school, I just can't, picture, anybody that I knew doing that.
Yeah.
No, I can't. And I feel so bad for his mom.
Yeah.
Like, having to
14
watch.
years of life, 15 years of life.
Yeah. And like hearing the bad things that they did to her son and like them not even caring.
Yeah. Well, so in the interview that I had watched with both his parents, the mom was very like, I haven't forgiven her yet, but you know, maybe one day I'll be able to. And the dad's like looking at her. He's like, are you crazy? He's like, if I had the chance, I would sit there and I would torture each and every single one of them. And da-da-da. He like goes into detail on like how he would murder them if he could. It's crazy.
We all cope differently.
Yeah.
Also,
yeah.
can you edit out all the times I've said "oh man" on this episode? I don't know why I keep saying that.
Oh,
It's like
man.
the 7th time I've done it.
Nope, I'm going to keep them in. So Amber got life with no parole. And
So she's in jail past 20.
Past 20.
yeah.
If she makes it that far.
I think she is 20 now.
Oh, congrats.
You did
Happy
it.
B-Day.
Or is she 20? She's something in there.
Well, it's happened 7 years ago. So she...
Is 22.
Well,
Is
how
that-
old was she when he died?
15.
14?
15.
15?
Yeah.
Yeah, so she's...
22. Okay. Good. I was about to say, is my math right? Okay. But so this is what Seth's mom had to say to her. She said, Amber, we hope guilt eats you inside and out, knowing that you caused all of this. This happened because of you.
And it did.
Yep. She was the one who caused everything.
Evil bitch.
Yeah. And so she
Luring
had
somebody.
Was it the Pierce Morgan special you watched?
No.
Oh,
Because I don't like him.
it was pretty good though. I think it was called Killer.
Maybe it was just on one of those murder shows that I found on Hulu or something.
Yeah,
But I literally just watched that story.
that's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a crazy story. I saw it and I was like, that's pretty messed up. I can't even imagine now feeling that way, let alone when I'm like a 15-year-old child
Yeah.
thinking it's okay.
I was a goody two shoes though. Like, I was scared of everything.
I didn't even drink alcohol till college.
I didn't drink till I was 17.
Yeah, that's how old I was in college.
Oh, I didn't go to college.
What do you guys have to bring it back up?
Actually, we're really bringing it
Yeah,
up.
it's like total
Oh, yeah?
opposite.
So we were trying to come up with what to talk about, and I feel like lately just everything is really depressing.
Yeah, we've had some heavy topics on here too.
Just like on here and just in the
In
world, like life is. There's just so many things going on that can bring us down, and I feel like we like you can't look anywhere. And there's a thing that I hear on the radio every once in a while that they like bring up good news and they're like, oh, what's something good that happened to you? And so Mandy and I were texting trying to figure out what we were going to talk about. And I was like, hey, the world kind of sucks right now. So can we just talk about good things?
Just like a bunch of good stuff.
Yeah.
So that's what we did.
Yeah. So we just
Okay.
have like a list of like really cool things happening in
Yes.
today's
Nice.
world.
Nice.
And a lot of it was actually news to me. Like, a
Yeah.
lot of it I actually didn't know because, like, you're not going to see that shit scrolling through your feed. It's all, like, bad stuff, like bad political posts or, like, you know.
Yeah, pretty much everything that I know about today's world is bad. So I was really excited about all of the good things that I did find.
Yes.
So,
I want to start with
yeah,
the
go ahead.
gorillas
Yes.
because these young gorillas. So,
It was in Rwanda.
Rwanda.
Yeah, Rwanda.
Okay,
I
so
always feel weird like saying things out loud if that's not how you're
Did
supposed
you
to
ever
say
see
it.
the movie Hotel Rwanda?
Mm-hmm.
No.
The genocide stuff.
So there's poachers everywhere, but there's a lot of poachers for gorillas out there, and so they've been setting these snares to incapacitate and then kill these young gorillas or whatever they can catch.
A snare, is that like a trap?
Yes,
Okay.
and they're usually live traps, and then they'll end up killing them when they come back to check on the trap. So this gorilla got killed. And then days later, these two young gorillas figured out themselves how to dismantle the poachers' traps.
Huh.
And so they went around like in the area and they dismantled like
All of
multiple
them?
traps,
Yeah, they're 2 4-year-old gorillas.
which
Oh
I
my
think was just
gosh.
like amazing.
That's awesome.
They're like,
and they
"Fuck
caught
this
it on
guy."
camera? How did they find this out?
Yeah,
There was a picture.
and I found, because it was in a national park, Veronica Vasilio is part of the research, and she said this is absolutely the first time that we've seen juveniles doing that. I don't know of any other reports in the world of juveniles destroying snares.
Wow. That's
thought
awesome.
that was amazing.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah. Sticking with the...
Well, they're so smart.
yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
If you really think about it, the fact that they got their own open, and then instead of like going on their merry way, we're like, let's find some more of these and like,
Let's fuck their day
Yeah.
up.
yeah.
like,
Let's
do it
keep
all.
our friends from dying.
Yeah.
That's pretty
that's
cool.
awesome.
And sticking on the animal thing, I found another really cool, just kind of fun fact about African wild dogs. Scientists have observed them in Botswana sneezing at each other in order to cast their vote on whether it's time to get up and go hunting.
Oh my God.
So they communicate with sneezes.
Oh, bless.
And
That's
I
cute
thought
and
that was
gross
really
all at the same
cute.
time.
But
Well,
it's
I can't imagine they're
dogs.
like big, like they're just
Like
like
snotty.
Yeah, like little tiny. Do it again.
Yeah, that's really good.
Like those kind of.
I don't think it's going to translate on through the mic though. You're going to have to do a video and post that later.
Yeah.
I don't think I will.
Let's do
Actually-
like a what is it called?
Don't pull out your video right now.
You should do a boomerang of you sneezing. Do it again. Do
Ready,
it again.
set, 1 second, and go. One more time.
Tell me when.
Do it.
Oh.
African
You're
wild
welcome.
dogs.
Sneeze languages.
That's funny.
I also want to keep with the animal kingdom.
Oh yeah, keep going.
I discovered that the giant panda and the manatee are no longer on the endangered species list.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, that's great news.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
See, isn't this great?
Yeah, that's wonderful.
Makes you happy.
All these things you're gonna be like, wow, oh cool,
Awesome.
People are
Awesome.
going to start being like, actually, instead of doing pop culture, could you guys just do like positive thoughts at the end?
Right?
We can be
We should
called
do, like, a little
positive
positive-
crime
Yeah.
line. Well, no, because then people would
well,
think they were talking about positive
Yeah,
crimes.
positive crime. We could do an occasional
There is a
positive
vigilante
crime. Yeah.
in, I don't know if it's in Wisconsin, but a bunch of my Wisconsin friends shared it, so I'm just assuming it was, that this guy has killed multiple, like he's a serial killer, but he's killing pedophiles.
Oh, wow.
And he killed
It's like Dexter.
3 or 4 in a row. Yeah, but they're like still trying to catch him because he's murdering people, but everyone's like, I hope they don't catch him. So anyway, that's happening.
Side note, this wine is really delicious.
It is. It's going straight to my head.
Yeah, I've been drinking it a little too quickly.
I'm a little buzzy.
Thank you, Carla.
Thanks,
It's
Carla.
a little bit more sour than I'm.
It is. It
used
kind
to.
of, it has a bit of a sour kick to
Makes
it.
Yeah,
my tongue a little
especially-
drier.
Yeah. And like most of the Pinot Noirs that I've been drinking are not as sour. They're a little bit more like smooth, but I
That's how
like
you know
I
it's
really
good.
like it. Yeah.
Okay, what's next?
So this one was really cool. I mean, I think that we had a couple points on this, but diseases are being
I
eradicated
was gonna just talk about that one too.
in the world. Good.
Yeah, go ahead.
But Australia is on track to become the first country to wipe out cervical cancer,
Really?
like the entire, like all of it. So by 2028 is when it's predicted that it'll just be eradicated. So
It's already like a rare disease.
Wow.
yeah, like it's predicted, the predicted rate of women that have it is 4 new cases per 100,000 people,
wow.
which is like way less than
That's incredible.
what we have it anywhere else. So yeah,
What are they doing? Is it something that we could start doing here?
I think it's vaccinations, and I don't know what else because I didn't look enough into it.
I did find that it said there's a comprehensive prevention strategy that started back in 1991 involving regular pap smears, and since 2007, free HPV vaccines for girls and boys since 2013. And last year, Australia also replaced pap smears with HPV cervical screening tests, which are predicted to reduce cancer rates by up to 30% in combination with the vaccine. I found immunization from disease. Since 1980, the number of 1-year-olds who receive at least one vaccination per year has risen from 22% to 88%, with only 22 cases in 2017. The world is now closer than ever to eradicating polio. And former President Jimmy Carter, with the help of his Carter Foundation, has helped to nearly eliminate the guinea worm parasite worldwide. It's a horrible parasite which enters the body as larvae through unclean drinking water, grows to full size, and burrows and exits through the skin. It's not life-threatening by itself, but it is said to feel like a burning needle several feet long being pulled slowly out of your skin, and more serious infections can occur.
I was going to say, yeah, just the infections from like open skin.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
The
I
life
feel like
cycle...
that's what I have in my face right now. This big zit.
It's a
That's what that
pimple.
is.
The life cycle is...
A little bot fly burrow.
Oh.
The life cycle is completed when the guinea worm makes its way back to water, usually when victims try to quench the pain in a local water source. And so they, as of May this year, there were only 5 recorded cases. So they're pretty sure that they are going to get rid of that one completely.
Nice.
Also, vaccinate your children.
Yes, or if you choose not to vaccinate your children, just keep them away from my kids.
There's no choice. Vaccinate your fucking children. Don't be dumb.
Oh, speaking of that, I know that a lot of people seem to think that vaccines cause autism. My brother is autistic. I do not believe that because they've proven by science that it doesn't, but whatever.
It was also a made-up test and everything that...
There's like
anyway,
a whole thing about it.
It's like a whole thing.
But... Anyway, we are closer than ever before with having a drug that can treat autism symptoms. And I thought that was really cool.
It was really cool.
A small but promising clinical trial in the U.S. showed this year that a 100-year-old drug called Suramine can measurably improve the symptoms of autism spectrum disorder in children. There's a lot more work to be done, but it's the first time we've been so close to having a drug that can potentially treat it.
Which is amazing.
Yeah, I think that's really cool.
I have a cousin very low on the spectrum.
Is he nonverbal and everything?
He, not that I'm aware, well, as like, I don't think that he speaks much. Definitely doesn't like to be touched. We had a big like family gathering to build a fence because he's a runner. But luckily the neighbors in the neighborhood or whatever would like, they knew who he was, but we had
They're
a
like,
big,
he's out again.
family party. Yeah, he was just like chilling at the neighbors. So he's good shit though.
My brother is my favorite person in the whole world, but he's also very high functioning. But my favorite thing is that he has no filter because he like it doesn't, that's part of it.
Yeah.
And so he just says exactly what's on his mind, which makes him my favorite person.
Yeah. And that's
So
how more
funny.
people should go about their lives.
Yes.
I was excited to hear that the global literacy
Oh yeah, I saw that
since
too.
1800, the year 1800, has jumped from roughly 10% to 85%.
Nice.
So-
Wait, that's global?
Yeah.
Wow.
So everybody's getting educated.
I was gonna give a bad news about that statistic, but this is all about good news, so let's keep
Yes.
going.
But what's the bad news?
Unfortunately, 2/3 of the world's illiterate population are women.
Yes, I did read that, and I left it out on purpose. But female education-wise, the number of girls enrolled in primary school went up from 65% in 1970 to 90% in 2015. So we're getting
On the
better.
way up.
Yeah.
Also, women in Saudi Arabia can now drive.
I read that too.
Oh,
Yeah.
wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're
I
like
mean,
making
slow,
moves.
but
Yeah.
it's there.
You know, I like can't complain about it being slow sometimes because it is still happening. So let's try and be happy about that
Yes.
part.
Oh, they can drive now.
Yeah, they can drive away from their shitty husbands.
It like
Yes.
makes me really angry though. Because what if they wanted to drive 20 years ago?
They did.
but they
And
just
why
couldn't.
didn't they?
Because the
pretty
world
shitty.
is a bad place.
But they can
pretty shitty.
do it now because there are good things happening in the world.
good things.
Oh, so I found that the access to water between 1980 and today, global access to safe water sources has increased from 58% to 91%. Improving water sources worldwide is integral to reducing poverty and increasing food security. Also, I found that scientists are working on a I'm going to say this totally wrong.
Do it.
A graphene-based sieve.
That's a sieve.
Sieve, right? Okay, but I didn't know about the graphene part, so it made me question the sieve.
Right.
It's graphene.
No idea. But
Well, I would assume it's like graphite or like
yeah,
charcoal
it's some
because
type of
like
that's
a
an
filter?
generally, yeah.
Oh,
That's
right.
yeah, naturally cleansing and it filters water.
It is supposed to take the salt right out of water, so they're using it to turn seawater into drinking water.
That's amazing.
At this stage, the technique is still limited to the lab, but it's a demonstration of how we could one day quickly and easily turn one of our most abundant resources, seawater, into one of our most scarce, clean drinking water.
Nice.
It's amazing. I read that the Netherlands has had to close some of prisons and will continue to close them due to the declining crime rate and less people to lock up.
Huh.
So I don't know what they're doing.
Should go there.
I'd like to go there anyway.
It's pretty great.
Yeah, and pretty.
We discovered a vitamin that could reduce the incidence of birth defects and miscarriages worldwide. Scientists are calling the most important discovery for pregnant women since folate. A 12-year study has revealed that women could avoid miscarriages and birth defects by simply taking vitamin B3 during pregnancy.
There's so many vitamins.
So many vitamins.
I don't know what they all do.
Nope.
Yeah, when I'm in that section, I'm like, I should be taking some of these, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But I don't know what anything is.
No. And the multivitamins are all too big. They're too big.
They are.
They're nasty.
They make me feel sick.
Yeah.
Well,
you
because
need
you're
to eat
supposed to do
food.
it like when you eat.
Yeah.
Speaking of vitamins, I know that this isn't the same thing, but I did find that scientists are fighting back against antibiotic resistance. So the United Nations declared that antibiotic resistance is a fundamental threat to global health, and some scientists predict could kill 10 million people annually by 2050. Which makes me think of like, this is how zombies are going to happen.
Right.
But at the start of this year, scientists announced the development of a molecule that reverses antibiotic resistance in multiple strains of bacteria at once, making it the most promising advances we've had to date in the fight against superbugs.
It's pretty great.
I thought that was pretty cool.
They have to just constantly be like redoing antibiotics and like making them
people just
better.
Yeah.
You get immune to them
Real quick.
because we use them for everything.
For everything.
They're so general. The last thing that I had was that there is a Toy Story themed park in Disney World.
Yes.
And it opened this
Oh.
summer.
Oh.
And I want to go.
We should go.
I love Toy Story.
Let's make a
I almost-
trip of it.
I almost decided to go like this week.
Oh,
But I'm not
Amanda's
going.
going to Florida.
Weren't you just at Disney World? Did they not
That's
have
the
it
only
then?
reason why we didn't go, or we're not going now. No, it opened in June, and we went to Disney in May, but we almost like went again for it. I have one more thing.
Yep.
So more and more countries and private entities are coming forward to donate unsold food to the needy. Italy changed their law to make all supermarkets give unsold food to the needy, and Starbucks has pledged to donate all of its unsold food to America's needy. And then here in Tennessee, specifically Nashville, Brad Paisley and his wife, Kimberly Williams Paisley,
Love
have
her.
have teamed up. I don't know if you guys have seen this yet, but they've teamed up with Belmont to open a free grocery store for the needy.
Wow.
So,
Phenomenal. I did
That's
not
awesome.
you didn't know that?
No.
Yeah, I read this article about it the other day, which is probably one of the reasons why I thought we should just talk about good things.
Good things, yeah.
Yeah.
And how like all these people have money and doing all this stuff, and like I think that what we need to change in the world, and this is one of those things. Like, he has all this money and his wife has all this money, and so they're gonna donate it to like opening a free grocery store for people that can't afford food.
That's amazing.
So I just think that that's
I
really
think
cool.
Nashville's homeless population is out of control. I mean, I go between, like, I think there's, some programs and some shelters and stuff that they can be a part of, because I do know of some.
Yeah.
But also, you know, maybe they're mentally ill, or, you know, maybe they're handicapped in some way that they can't do that. Like, then I'm always like, you know.
Well, you know, I don't like giving money, only because I've literally witnessed someone use the money I give them to walk into Walmart and buy beers. So I had a friend who would put together little packages.
Yes.
It had first aid, it had
Socks
granola
or
bars,
something.
or, you know, like different food items that don't go bad really quickly,
Yeah.
and gallons of water. And they would just like drive around, and every time they saw someone who was in need or like asking for help, give them one of those. And I think that that's a really cool
It's very
idea.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to just read a little bit about what they said about it. So they thought about this idea from Thanksgiving. So the Paisleys were inspired to bring the concept to Nashville after taking their young sons to volunteer at a similar organized Unity shop in Santa Barbara, California. Paisley explained it was near Thanksgiving and his wife thought their children were acting spoiled. They took the boys to volunteer at the Unity shop to help them understand that other people were much less fortunate. But the day turned out to be a learning experience for the whole family. It was inspiring because these people have dignity, said Paisley, a Belmont graduate. It's not a scene from Oliver Twist. These people are able to sit there and feel very, very normal in the eyes of their kids. I remember thinking, why isn't this everywhere? Essentially, we got this idea that it could be a very effective thing in Nashville. The Unity shop and the store won't be identical, just based on the same principles. So they like have Band-Aid, like it's just like, it's almost like a Band-Aid to like work towards something better.
Right.
And because I know that
Definitely a step
here,
in the right direction,
yeah,
though.
I know that here in Nashville, we're working on like building homes for the homeless, and like they're working on this whole area for like homeless people that, and getting them jobs and doing all this stuff so that we can better that. Because if you've never been here to Nashville, we do have a very high.
It's everywhere.
You can't go.
You can't drive
anywhere.
almost anywhere without.
Well, I almost every time I go to the grocery store now, I'm asked in the grocery store for money.
It's just sad. It's almost like, and that's what I
walked to
think
the
is
coffee
worse.
shop the other day, and some guy, which was like not the right approach because I was by myself, walking to the coffee shop, and this guy like crossed the street to come talk to me and ask me for money.
Or at that really scary gas station right down the road.
Oh, I almost hit
At
someone
night?
driving here in front of the gas station.
Yeah.
They were just walking in the middle of the
That's 'cause
road.
people are crazy over there. But yeah, good things though. That's
Yeah.
amazing. I definitely
Yeah.
will check it out too when are they open?
No, it's supposed to open in 2019.
Okay.
They had to like raise like $1.2 million or something.
Wow. So it's going to be like a constant grocery store like Kroger where they get, you know, veggies and stuff brought in daily?
Yeah, I
or
think
what's
it's like it's gonna be like a food, you know, like back in the day, like if you were
soup kitchen or
like a
something?
soup kitchen,
Yeah.
which I know there probably still are soup kitchens,
Yeah,
but
definitely.
like this is gonna be like a better functioning soup kitchen, just because it's gonna be more like a grocery store where people can take home stuff instead of just going and eating there.
Yeah.
I saw this one, and I think that it might have been in England somewhere, but it basically was like a grocery store for like damaged goods or ugly fruit and veggies.
Oh, yeah.
And it was like the ugly ones because literally
People
like grocery
don't pick
stores
them.
won't buy them from vendors if they're ugly. Like if they're misshapen or, you know, or have a big lump on them or something, like, so they would just give away, they'd end up throwing them away. So they ended up donating them to this food place, and they just sell ugly fruit and veggies and like damaged cans or boxes, you know, that they can't sell, that they would just throw out. They literally, so much food is thrown out. It's ridiculous.
I used to work in a restaurant.
Infuriating.
But I think that I really enjoyed all the things that we
This was good
found.
things.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. Very positive.
So
Which
I
is
hope you guys-
unusual for us.
yeah, I hope we brought some smiles to your faces with all of our good thoughts
Indeed.
today.
Indubitably.
And I thought we could end on reading this most recent review we got from Tal Griff.
It keeps. I keep
okay?
thinking that you're saying towel.
Tal.
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 Tal. Like tally.
Like tall, but without the L.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I guess.
So maybe this is someone named Griff who's kind of tall,
But not like tall
not
enough
2
to
L's
have an
worth of
extra.
tall.
but not 2 L's worth of tall. Exactly. Okay. So the title is "This Is What I Needed." Gave us 5 stars, guys. I'm
Follow
new to
suit, people.
Exactly. I'm new to podcasts in general, and these girls have me hooked. I seriously look forward to every episode. I feel like I'm sitting there in the room with them, and I add to their conversation even while I'm sitting in my car on my drive home. Thank you for blessing us with the hilariousness that is this podcast. Keep it up. The
Thanks,
hilariousness. I love
Thanks,
it.
Tall Griff.
Tall Griff.
Tall Griff.
I like
You're real
that.
sweet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thought that was really nice.
Like I said last time, it always feels good to have people like us. You
It
make us
does.
feel good.
It does. It makes us want to do this every week, among other
Yeah.
reasons.
Keep us motivated.
Yeah.
Follow us on social media at Pop Crime and Wine, or email us if you'd like to sponsor an episode with a bottle of wine, or just send us money and we can go pick one out ourselves.
You can send that to our PayPal, which is our email address, popcrimewine@gmail.com.
Yup.
Yeah.
I think that's it.
Yeah.
Leave us a review so we can keep reading them to you. If you want to hear us read your review, go and leave one for us.
And as always, we will
See you next Tuesday.
Sorry, I went really fast.
You yelled at me for going fast.
I know.
Why would you do
I
that?
had that in my head. See you next
You
Tuesday.
ruined everything.
Everything.